This is how to handle kids who don't like to drill. Number one, I just come out and say, maybe you don't like wrestling. If you don't like wrestling, quit. Bill Gates didn't wrestle and he's doing just fine in life. So, you don't have to be a wrestler. That's like saying, I like hockey, but I don't want to learn how to ice skate. Well, then quit hockey. I mean, it's freaking done on ice. I don't know what to tell you, right? Cross country, you have to run outside. If you don't like running outside, then sign up for indoor track, right? Drilling is part of wrestling. You can't get away from it. Tiger Woods drills. LeBron James drills. I would say this. Okay, you don't have to drill. You can sit against the wall and play on your iPhone for an hour and a half. Then the last hour of practice, or 45 minutes when we're live wrestling, you can come off the wall then, and then you can drill. Let them do it. Just let them. It won't last long. They'll start getting their head beat in so bad, or they'll quit, which maybe they were not a wrestler to begin with, right? We talked about that. So just let them sit out. Don't make them drill. Let them sit out on the wall. Let's go to the tournaments this weekend and see how good that works for you, okay? Secondly, it's code for just, I'm lazy. I want to win in wrestling. I want to go to the tournaments. I certainly want to live wrestle and practice. I want my parents to shell out money and sit in the bleachers for 17 hours every Saturday and watch me and buy me a wrestling t-shirt, right? But I don't want to drill. Just say, I want to wrestle, but I'm too lazy to put in the effort to actually get good at it. So that's the number two thing that's taking place. Either they maybe don't like wrestling, or they need to touch the hot stove and see what it's like not to drill, and then only do live wrestling, and get their egos bruised and who knows what else. Or they need to admit, and I'd say, hey, you have to tell me. Why don't you just admit, I want to be skinny, but I don't want to walk the treadmill and put the fork down. That's it. I want to be rich, but I also want to lay in my couch and play video games and live in my mommy's basement and eat Cheetos all day. There you go. That's what's taking place, right? So if you're having an athlete that doesn't want to drill, that's what the conversations I would have with them. Tiger Woods drills, LeBron James drills, all the famous athletes drill, they practice, they hone their craft. See, but then you can also say, on rare occasion, maybe if the coach's practices are boring. So you got to make sure that before you have a conversation with them, that you as a coach aren't boring the hell out of them, right? If you're a coach who, let's say, shows a move and it takes you 20 minutes, and you're explaining 13 different reasons why it works and 13 different reasons why it doesn't, and then you're talking about the Russian from 1976 Olympics that you saw on YouTube and how he used it, you're like trying to sell the kids that you know what you're talking about and that this move works. I mean, they're bored off their freaking skull, right? How about this? Circle up, sit. Here we go. I'm going to demo twice. Watch close. Step 1, I do this. Step 2, I do that. Here I go again. Time. Everybody stand up. You have 5 seconds to get your hands on. Go. 5, 4, 3. Number 1, inside tie. Right hand grabs the neck. Then you talk them through it, right? And you watch step by step. And your coaches are walking. Good. Now go for 3 minutes. Boom. Time. Start over. This kid's not working. We will look great. We will have a great year. Season will be amazing. I will not embarrass you. You will not embarrass me. We're not going to embarrass our school. Go again. Boom. And you run practice like that. That's how you run practice, right? Number 2, here we go. I'm going to talk you through it twice. Listen closely. Pay attention. Step 1, right? And we actually teach that at our private team camps. We teach how we teach. We want to be the best teachers in America. See, too many times we want to coach wrestling, but we don't want to hone our teaching skills. So some of us as coaches are just as lazy as the kids. You don't want to learn classroom management. You don't want to learn communication skills. You don't want to learn the steps to every technique that you want to show. You don't want to develop the discipline of having a plan and a system and sticking to it, even though you're not going to see the rewards of having a plan in place for, maybe a month or two. Then boom, it's just like an avalanche. Your kids all win, right? So you like to say, well, no, the idea fairy attacks you. Oh, I saw this move on Flow Wrestling. I'm going to show that tomorrow. No, it's not on my system. My kids don't wrestle year round. We have to win matches. 90% of your points comes from 10% of the wrestling. That's all we're going to do. Put that note away, though, because in the off season, if you guys want to learn a counter to a Russian 2-on-1, we're going to do it this summer. But that's outside the realm of core wrestling. 90% of your points comes from 10% of the wrestling. That's where we're going to live. So you as a coach can't be somebody who teaches sloppy, who takes, if you're sweating your ass off and the kids are laying there half asleep, then, you're working harder than they are. A great manager, hey, the kids are wrapping burritos and sprinkling cheese on the tacos. I ain't doing it. I run this freaking show, right? I put workers to work. And you are no different as a coach. So if that's one of the issues and you want to hone your teaching skills, I think that's a good place to start as well. And maybe it's a combination of both. Maybe we all need to have a little conversation with ourselves and say, I can do better. And I am going to do better. Nick's advice is making sense. And then the kid says, you know what, I can do better too. I am being lazy, right? Also, when you sell drilling this way, my brother and I were twins. We had a wrestling mat in our basement, right? Sold our four-wheeler, bought a wrestling mat, wrestled every freaking day. They're there, right? We would get in fights. Even at Oklahoma State, we would get in so many fights. They banned us from each other like for a year. And I'm not bragging, it was stupid. You grow up kind of in a rough environment. We just fight a lot. But I think what I learned was when I am drilling, I am becoming dangerous. And the fact that I can put your arm behind your back against your will, and I can turn you against your will, that's exciting, right? So sell them on drilling like I see drilling as a way to develop the skills, and I think your kids might reframe it differently. They don't look at it as, it's kind of like, oh, Nick made me drill. No, Nick's giving me a chance to get better. I'm the one that wrote my goals down on the wall. I shared with the team that I want to be the state champ. I want to be a productive member of this team. Nick's camp is giving me a chance to get better. Here I go, right? The coach opens the weight room in the morning. Don't drag in there like you're feeling sorry for yourself. If you don't want to get strong, quit. You should say, thanks, coach, for opening the weight room. I have big goals and I can't do them without being strong. Thank you. Change the way you think about things, right? So good luck to everybody out there. Check us out at purlerwrestling.com. Hit the bell, hit the thumbs up.